Hey, what's up guys? I got a quick little Final Fantasy VIII video for you here, and then we're gonna get back to streaming more classic PS1 JRPGs. I just wanted to talk about why I love the game so much, and why I feel like it was such an impactful game for me when I was a kid. And I think the reason behind that is the fact that, of course, I played the game when it first came out, and I was in junior high school. So I think because of that, the fact that Squall was a student at the Seed Academy, it just clicked for me. When you look at the characters in the game, almost all of them represent a typical high school social stereotype. You've got Cypher, who is the preppy, stuck-up jock kid. You've got Selphie, which is the goofy, ditzy cheerleader kind of girl. Questus is pretty much a bookworm, the nerdy girl. Squall is the emo kid. Zell is the crazy punk rocker dude. Irvine is the redneck. And Renoa is the girl all the bad guys want, or the girl that got away, your high school sweetheart, whatever you want to call it. And then you've also got the fact that everybody plays Triple Triad, which, I don't know about you guys, but back when I was in junior high, I was all about those Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Played them at school, just like Squall does. Anybody I met that played it, I'd be trying to play with them. You know how it is. And then of course there's the Seed Ball, which I had prom, and I was probably about twice as uncomfortable about it as Squall was. And then kind of one of the more cooler things I feel like that is inside of the game is the dichotomy between Squall and Cypher. You have Squall with long dark hair, Cypher has short, light colored hair. Squall has a really short black jacket, Cypher has a long white trench coat. They're almost like polar opposites. Cypher's really extroverted, Squall's really introverted, and they don't get along. And one is the quiet emo kid, and the other one is the popular jock guy. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was in high school, in junior high, I had somebody that I shared a relationship like that with, a lot like Squall and Cypher's. He was kind of like a rival, we didn't get along, we fought a lot, all that good stuff, and he was a kind of a douchebag. And I don't know why, but one thing that I've noticed, the way I feel about the game since I've done this most recent playthrough, is part of me really feels bad for Cypher. I feel bad that he's been brainwashed, and I feel bad that we just keep beating him down because he was such a prideful character, and he thought he was so much better, and he clearly showed him that he is not. But it's really cool how at the end of the game, during the end credits, it shows that Cypher kind of redeemed himself, and I'm fairly sure was welcomed back to Balam Garden, which is like I said, it's cool. Yeah, he survived it all, and everyone was happy to take him back, it seemed like. And surely to God he learned his lesson about being a douchebag and treating people like shit. Hashtag chicken wuss. And not only that, but there's that point in the game where throughout all the chaos that's happening, Squall and Zell go on, Squall, Zell, and the others, they go on a mission, and they try to assassinate the sorceress. That fails. They get thrown inside of a jail. They escape. Irvine comes back with Renoa. They get out, then they have to split it into two groups. Missiles are flying. Oh my god, chaos. He gets to Garden, and there's a freaking civil war happening, and then the Garden takes off flying away, and then he gets put in charge of the entire Garden. And it's pretty clear at the time that Squall is not much of the leader, and I don't even really think a whole lot of other students at Balam Garden really like Squall or can even stand him. They probably all think he's a jerk, just like Cypher, even though we all know that he's not. And somehow, little by little, he becomes a leader, which to me is the freaking coolest part about Squall's transformation as a character. And it's really funny because you can totally tell that sometimes when shit is hitting the fan, Squall is freaking out. I'm pretty sure that choosing to send the seeds to go into the cafeteria to save the hot dogs during the big battle between Balam and Galbadiah would be a canon answer. You can just tell he is freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. And I think it's kind of this point in the game where you can tell that Squall's feelings for Rinoa, whether he wants to admit them or not, are one of the motivating factors to keep him going and to keep him sane, trying to lead the entire garden. But my point pretty much is the fact that Squall's not someone that you would imagine being a leader. Squall almost seems like the kind of person that would abandon his comrades in some type of crazy event. I hate to say that, but that's the Squall that we meet at the beginning of the game. And by the end of it, he is a completely different person, which is what makes the game so cool. And I just want to mention, now that we're talking about Rinoa and Squall, I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but when I played this game for the first time, I beat it. It was one of the only Final Fantasy games I had ever beaten at the time. But the one scene that always stuck out to me, the one scene that I would always think about, is the scene where Squall, right after the battle with Galbadia Garden, when Rinoa first goes unconscious, that scene where Squall carries her piggyback across that intercontinental bridge that connects the two continents. Just imagine that walk. How long that would have taken. Don't mind my dog wagging its tail back there. Anyway, yeah, it would have taken like weeks. And I don't know why, but I feel like I remember there being like random encounters on that bridge, and even like a boss battle that Squall had to fight alone, and like Rinoa would be laying there next to him, like knocked out. Anyway, so a lot of people really feel like Final Fantasy VIII at its core is a love story, which I definitely agree that there's a huge romance element to the game, but I personally feel like what it's really about is the transformation of the main character. When you first meet Squall, like I said, he's cold, he's a loner, he's a jerk, he doesn't care about anybody, and by the end of the game, he's a full-blown hero, he's a leader, he likes the people that he's around, and I would even go so far as to say that he considers Zell a friend. Squall would never admit that, but you can definitely tell by the end of the game that Squall has respect for Zell. And that transformation kind of makes me think about how I was in high school and junior high compared to how I am now. I feel like I've transformed and changed a lot like Squall, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably feel the same way about yourselves. This next part might sound a little bit crazy, but it's true, and I'll explain it the best I can. I feel like Squall's journey and his transformation as a character and his transition into becoming a leader inspired me personally to go to college, to become part of a cause and become part of something that's greater and bigger than I am. And I think that that's one of the coolest things about the game. I think that that should be the goal of a lot of art, is to get people, to motivate people to do something for the greater good, to do something to better themselves. And with that, I just want to say that it's sad to see Final Fantasy VIII not get an Android version, to not get an iOS version, to not get a sequel, to not get a prequel, to not get the attention that things like Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X and even, God forbid, Final Fantasy XIII got. Because to me, this game is amazing. It might have some plot holes and it might have some weak storytelling at times, but there is no more relatable group of characters than what you will find in Final Fantasy VIII. And I think that if you're into these kind of games, you should definitely play it. Not to play it for the graphics, and not to play it for the battle system or anything like that, but to play it to see the transformation of Squall. I haven't seen character development that good in a video game in a very long time. And if you don't want to play it for the character development, at least play it for the Moombas. If you don't know what the Moombas are, look them up. They are only in Final Fantasy VIII, which is also kind of sad because those little dudes are freaking awesome. And it has some of the best music in any video game. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I love this game so much. I actually have a Griever tattoo. Maybe one day I'll show you guys. Alright guys, that's a wrap. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you agree or disagree, or if you want to add anything to the conversation. And leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.